Hey, today we're going to discuss Liberty Day. We're going to go over the new Mage Order, we'll talk about their reward, I'll also show you 2 hidden buffs that weren't mentioned in the latest patch. Not only that, there's just so much more to discuss. If you've enjoyed my content before, consider giving this video a thumbs up and tapping the hype button. With that said, let's jump in. Alrighty, Helldivers, Liberty Day is finally here and we've got some news to go over. If you haven't tried this out yet, you can visit Super Earth by selecting it in the middle. Once you have arrived, you should see fireworks going off in the distance and basically all over Super Earth, as you can see. If I'm not mistaken, this wasn't possible last year. Now, this right here wouldn't have been possible this year if we hadn't completed the Automaton Mage Order to grab the fireworks and all that stuff, right, a couple of days ago, and it looks like Super Earth is putting it to good use. I will say that I think this whole fireworks show is really cool, and it's something new for Liberty Day. Nevertheless, we also have news about the brand new Mage Order. If you haven't seen it already, then let's check it out. You can see here that High Command has requested us Helldivers to use the good old Constitution Rifle. But not only that, we have to eliminate 40 million enemies using the Constitution Rifle. I will say I might go nuts using it because I'm not a big fan of using this particular rifle. However, I have to admit, it's actually kind of fun. I joined a random squad where we wore the armors from the Masters of Ceremony Warbond, which is what you'll see in the background gameplay. Anyway, we also discovered while reading the new Mage Order that we're going to receive a new free cape. Yes, you heard that right, it's a cape. Unlike last year's Liberty Day where we earned a full set of armor and the Constitution Rifle, it looks like this time around it's just a cape. I'm not too excited about it, I'll be honest. Perhaps I'm wrong to think like that, but here's what High Command wrote about Liberty Day, and they said, "Once more, we celebrate the greatest and most patriotic of days, Liberty Day. On this hallowed date, our forebears witnessed true glory as the Democratic Council instituted the first and final draft of managed democracy, and in doing so, formally ratified humankind's greatest gift to the galaxy, freedom. Today's celebrations are further enriched as we also honor the serving heroes of Super Earth, whose steadfast obedience has ensured that our way of life continues even amidst our darkest trials to date. As children of all class designations snatch presents from Liberty Day priors and eat justice corn at dissonant executions, all serving Helldivers will celebrate in the traditional frontline manner. Exactly as our ancestors first bestowed the gift of freedom to all, Helldivers shall join together today and achieve the designated kill count using only the classic R2124 Constitution Rifle. Upon completion, all serving Helldivers shall receive this year's Liberty Day cape. Helldivers are also advised to visit the orbit of Super Earth itself to watch the 24-hour patriotic pyrotechnic display, the fruits of their own down-to-the-wire efforts to save Liberty Day from the automatons. Tomorrow the war continues. Today, let's cherish our liberty and spread its message wherever tyranny lurks. Let your marksmanship sing the anthem of freedom." So, I'm sure you caught that, right? It says right here that we'll earn a cape once we've completed the Mage Order, and it's certainly not as exciting as it was in the past, but it is what it is. I thought this time they would have released something pretty cool, like the Last 17 Trident, or something else from Helldivers 1. Besides that, it seems that the fireworks will only be available for 24 hours, then it'll be shut down, at least that's what it says here. I'd like to know, what are your thoughts about everything? What are your thoughts about Liberty Day, the reward, and are you excited or not? Let's talk about it in the comments. Okay, before we continue, if you're wondering if using the bayonet on the Constitution Rifle counts towards the Mage Order, then unfortunately you're not going to like what I'm about to say because it doesn't count at all. You actually have to use the Constitution Rifle instead of using it as a melee weapon, and I know it sucks, but that appears to be the truth, so I highly suggest that you do not use the bayonet and instead fire at your enemies so that it'll count. Moving along, let's put the Liberty Day conversation to the side for now. We'll get back to it in a few seconds because I'd like to point out that there are 2 undocumented buffs that weren't written anywhere in the patch notes. If you didn't know, the Senator and the STA-52 assault rifle have received a damage buff. For instance, in this video clip here, we can see that before the Senator had 200 damage. However, in the latest patch, you can see here that they increased the damage to 225. Not only that, like I said a few seconds ago, they've also buffed the STA-52 assault rifle by increasing its damage as well. It used to be 70, but now in the recent patch, they increased the damage to 90. To be fair, I don't think anyone is going to care about the STA-52 assault rifle buff, because I doubt any of you Xbox divers have it, and perhaps even some of you new Helldivers on PC or PlayStation most likely don't have it either. Yet, on the other hand, the Senator is easy to pick up, and to see a buff for it is always nice. By the way, for those that don't know, you can use the Senator to defeat a Hulk quickly. You can tell that right here. I'll aim at the Hulk's eye and fire directly at it, and it'll go down super easy. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk a little bit more about Liberty Day. There are a few more things I'd like to discuss, such as a recent post created by the official Helldivers 2 social media team. What we have right here is an image that gives us event details. The first is Strowman News 24-hour live stream. Then the reciting of Super Earth Anthem is right after that. From there, there will be a dissonant execution, a Liberty Day parade that'll have General Brash inflatable, orbital bombardment of the moon, synchronized salute, fireworks, more dissonant executions, DJ Guard Dog is back, and lastly, we'll be reciting the Super Earth Anthem. You'll also notice there's a sticky note that says Liberty Day Pyre, whack a Terminid, which I'll show you in a minute. Caving workshops with Stephen Caves, and then there's the enlistment, of course, yet there's a sweet twist to it. You'll receive 2 free bags of cinnamon jelly divers. Now, that right there might sound familiar because if you recall, last month, we saw a post from the official Helldivers 2 social media team where they posted a document that had to do with E711, and towards the bottom they talk about using E711 on jelly divers and how it created a new cinnamon flavor. So yeah, that's interesting to know that citizens and Helldivers are eating E711 essentially. It'll be intriguing to see if that has any sort of bad outcome or terrible effects in the near future. I feel like we'll hear something about it. But that's a conversation for another day. For now, let's talk about Whack a Terminid. This is an official game from Arrowhead where you can basically play it on your web browser. The link is right here, and if we click it, it'll redirect us to the Whack a Terminid game. You'll have your difficulty choices such as easy, medium, hard, and Helldiver. I, of course, chose Helldiver, and this is what the game is all about. As you can imagine, it's like whack-a-mole, but with Terminids. And I won't lie, it was kind of addictive for some reason. Lastly, for Liberty Day news, we have to talk about this right here, because if you haven't seen this already, which I would be shocked if you haven't, you can see that there's a poster on the left side of the Super Destroyer, and then if you go on the other side of the Super Destroyer, there's another poster as well for Liberty Day. I like this a lot. It's great to see that there's some sort of new stuff going on within the ship. But, you know, hey, I can't wait for there to be some sort of customization for Super Destroyers. I think it'd be awesome, you know, to customize certain banners and all that stuff without mods. I think that'd be awesome. Let's switch gears. What I'll be doing next is showing you how to get inside bunkers without the warp pack or without, you know, maybe using a mech. That's another great way to do it. What you'll need is an autocannon pointed at a certain angle like that, for example. I'd recommend always pointing it in that specific angle there, and then shoot it, and you'll just ragdoll inside. You can pick up the super credits, which in this case I had 3 super credits on the shelf there, which was awesome. You can tell I sort of failed there, but once you're inside, you can actually do the same thing, point it at the wall, and you'll just push yourself out. This is an amazing way to get inside bunkers for those out there that do not have the war pack, or maybe you just don't have enough money, or super credits I should say, to pick up the war bond, or perhaps you just don't have the requisition slips to purchase the mech. So yeah, this is a great way to get inside and out. We're now going to put that conversation aside and talk about this Reddit post here from Yuri. Shout out to you, bud. But this right here is an amazing idea, a stripper clip. This would be great to see in Helldivers 2. Now, are we going to see it? Probably not. Maybe some some point in the future. I couldn't tell you. But this right here is a great idea, and I think, you know, in general, the customization menu needs an update. We need to absolutely see more customization options, right? Like more magazines, more different scopes, and all that great stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll receive more rewards in the future instead of, like, you know, the cape that we're getting right now. Lastly, let's go over the top comments. First, from Dusk Raider, that spoke on the Charger sound update and how it changed Dusk Raider's life. That right there is amazing, and I know it's a big game changer to actually hear the Chargers for once. The second top comment is by Spotty Pongo 7591 that said they don't want a war bond until things are actually stable and ready. And yeah, I totally agree with you. The third and final top comment is by the Gasman 3651 that spoke on some strange noises that Gasman heard when he was on the Terminid front, and it turns out it was a Charger. Yes, and I know, it's amazing, and I am so excited to actually hear the Charger. With that being said, hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, consider tapping the thumbs up button and the hype button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications as well. And I hope you all have a great day out there. Thank you for watching the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.